Being in this apartment has really been such a blessing. Once we decided that we really wanted to spend our time between New York and Europe, we had originally thought Paris was the best place for us, for the children, for our clients, and we had a gorgeous pied-à-terre, but then the pandemic arrived and we were between New York and Paris, but we all happened to be here for spring break, and then the airports closed, and a week later I found out I was pregnant. So we knew we needed more space. So even if it was gonna be a pied-à-terre, it had to be a bigger pied-à-terre. And thank heavens we found this, and we've been able to make it really a home of reflection of us as a family, of Micky's amazing eye, the spaces we create together. Everything has a story, everything's lived in and feels that way. I think that's the best compliment we get from our clients and from people who like our work, is that nothing feels contrived, everything feels natural, everything feels very much a part of the person, of our clients. They never feel like their home has been decorated, it just feels like it's put together in the best way possible for them. And that for us is really what we're passionate about.
What I want people to understand is this is it. This is your one. When you come in, this amazing living room space is everything for your family. It is where you entertain, where you live as a family, where probably your children have their friends over. It's their play space. And how you infused it with a sense of your love for design, your family, from the old days and for now, to me is really quite extraordinary.
Exactly. And I think that's precisely why this room is so special. It has so much life in it, and everything in it has a story. We're always sharing it with our children, and the amount of memories, Micky's not afraid of the passage of time on objects, on antiques, on people. We have a huge admiration and love for, our elders, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, people who came before, and all of this is kind of an homage to that, and to family, our descendants too. So, everything from, these chairs.
For example, these chairs was Greta Garbo's.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful chairs from 18th century.
Yeah, and they were in an apartment in Sutton Place.
In Sutton Place, with the same fabric.
Yeah. So everything has that little story. The paintings, we have a collection of, there's a group of ancestors' paintings we've acquired, and things that just seem special. The de Laszlo.
For example, the Laszlo, I love the Philippe de Laszlo, I bought that a lot of years ago in Sotheby's.
Yeah, I think one of the things that is exactly the passage of time. Look at the frame. People could be like, wait, why would you put a frame like that?
Yes.
But de
That is a
Laszlo
good
always
point.
chose his frames. And so we knew that this came originally with the painting and we didn't want to change it out. For me, de Laszlo's special.
Yes, that was Rex, my son. That is and a little accident, you know.
Unfortunately, it's, you know, those things happen and you can change it, you can live with it, and we chose to embrace it. De Laszlo for me is a very special painter. He painted a few of my great-grandparents and I just adore his brushstroke. So when Micky came with that surprise, it happened to have some breaks to it, but it's fine, we kept it, we love it.
And I think that you're probably our first hosts who have spoken holding a pacifier.
That is my life. That is my life.
So it's wonderful how so many of the things that we collect or that we have, besides the story, there's always this fun connection. So even the painting of Micky's grandfather that sits above our bed, and they were best friends and I adored him, was a beautiful portrait done when he was 7 years old by a Chilean painter named Venegas y Fuentes. And he was the maestro of Claudio Bravo, who was a very well-known Chilean painter, who painted my grandfather. So we have this funny connection through things, through stories. Even the portrait that Andy Warhol did of my grandmother is fun because my son, our toddler, our 18-month-old, will walk by and he'll say, "Mama?" And he'll think it's me and it's my grandmother. We have the same name and I've always been told I look very much like her. So everything is fun, how much it has a story. Her friend who introduced her to Andy Warhol was here the other day, Doris Brenner, and got to tell us a little bit about the background of it. So it's wonderful to have all that, all those anecdotes.
When I came for drinks the other night, I loved coming in here when you were showing me, and the girls were sitting in their adorable little nightgowns and they were watching TV, and this is your bedroom,
yes.
And yet one of them actually sleeps in this bed.
It's definitely our bedroom. It's definitely everybody's. You know, our toddler is here. She's 4 years old. This is her little bed. She likes sleeping with her baby brother. He's 18 months. So, I mean, we're always with our children in everything we do. We literally are in the same room. When we're at work, we're going to auctions. We're in the kitchen. We're cooking. Everything we do as a family. So it's just an extension.
And I loved when I met when Micky was introducing me to your children the other night, and he said, "This is my best friend. This is my," and I really feel that of both of you, that this is a en famille place where they all are, and yet each room is so personally designed by you both and so beautiful. Don't even get me started about this fabric on the walls, and the choice of the green is so beautiful.
Of course. I mean, I love what you're saying about that. Our greatest compliment for us is when people tell us how wonderful our children are, how well behaved they are, how sweet, how gracious. So everything we do is for them, and even create beautiful spaces to share as a family. This fabric, which is incredible, it actually was in this space. It was the only thing that was here, the color and the fabric, and we decided we have to leave it because it no longer is in production. And it actually is a really beautiful old French fabric. A friend of my grandmother's, Marella Agnelli, had it in her home in Corsica. And Henri Samuel used it for one of the Aga Khan's interiors. This is a wonderful piece. I adore this because this is actually one of a few that Micky purchased. They belonged to the Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, and they were at Chatsworth. And they were made by James Wyatt. George III, a cabinet maker from the 18th century. And it was such a coincidence when he brought them because they happened to have the bow wood on them, the Colfax and Fowler classic fabric, which is the same one that was all over the room I used in my grandparents' house my whole life. And that sort of marriage of this beautiful 18th century craft work and the Colfax and Fowler, which is so much a part of my upbringing, really was a special, special surprise.
Okay, so these beautiful shelves, the way they're lit and they're so personalized, these were here, but of course they were empty and you filled them.
I have to say that's one of Micky's specialties. He really is an expert at the cabinet de curiosité feeling, you know, that there's something special. We are book fanatics and we love being surrounded by books. I think we both inherited that from our families. And he's had clients ask him specifically to just get on that bookcase and give them something amazing. It makes such a difference if you know how to mix art and books. Micky's very, very adamant about having books. He's always referencing them. He always remembers something he saw and wants to bring it up or show a client.
And when he first met me, the first thing he did practically before we even said hello, was he ran over to me and was showing me a book or a magazine that he loved, which is incredible. Kindred spirit.
Yeah, he's very much sort of like, within the design sort of community, he really recognizes, so much talent that there is and so much history. It's one of the greats.
I would like to reinforce to everybody that while the scale and proportions of the rooms in your apartment here in Paris are very grand, there are not a lot of rooms here. And you have made the most for a family of how many?
Definitely. We have 6 children.
6 children?
Yes. The thing about this apartment, as a pied-à-terre, is there's a lot of different spaces.
Nooks and crannies,
there's lots of places that are living a little more personal and we don't show, but it's full of this really amazing layout, which you don't really get in New York. And as much as we adore New York and, are between New York and France, the height obviously here and that very fun puzzle kind of layout.
Yes. Oh, look at this room. This is every girl's dream room in Paris.
It is. It's very serene. It's still cozy at the same time. Our older girls are in here.
How old are they?
They're 17 and 15.
And it's just, I mean, the high ceilings, the views, and tell me about, I love the how you did these pattern curtains.
Those were actually, these are French, they're very old. They actually were here when we arrived, so we left them because we loved them. And we sort of worked around it. Mickey found these incredible beds, this beautiful Dury, like real beautiful Dury blue rug.
That's practical too.
So practical.
It's not precious.
It's soft enough, it's durable, it's Dury.
And look at your little jib
door, with all of this painted. I mean, it really works well with the choice of sort of, Swedish furniture, very soft.
Feminine in here, but not too precious.
Not too precious. Feels kind of feminine in a way, but still not too girly for these girls who are a little bit older. It works really well. It's very comfortable.
And I see also places for your younger girls to play in here.
Of course. They're all really close, and they actually play all together quite a bit. And Malu and Olympia are just amazing with their little sisters. So
this wasn't here when you got here.
This is definitely us.
So
I've had quite a lot of people ask me, where did you get this?
Yeah,
it took me a long time to find. But it's a really sweet little tent. We've actually had a few of these made in different fabrics to cover it, which is really fun. So right now it's the soft, but I have a really pattern motif one.
And
it's
then
fun.
You made the little mattress below.
The little mattress, that's Indian. It's a beautiful mattress that just works really well. Very
I want people to be inspired that you don't have to find and buy something perfect for your children. You can customize something for your space, for their personalities. Of course. You made this, and it's like the ideal little nook.
It's the ideal nook, and in the end, even everything that's in here, I mean, these beds are, beautiful old antique beds that were used for them. I think that antiques are not supposed to just be old, stately, looked at.
Look, don't touch.
You have to live with them. And we don't just live with them ourselves, our children do. And so they also acquire that sort of appreciation for things that are old and still valuable.
And their children someday may live with them too.
God willing.
Don't miss another video visit. Click on the orange Q to subscribe and have Quintessence virtually delivered from our doorstep to yours.